Folks, I have an opinion, and I have no facts whatsoever to back my opinion up. I'm saying that right off the top. But my opinion is that all of these killings in the city of Chicago are not all gang related, black on black related, etc. I have an opinion that it's the police department in Chicago that are going into these various black neighborhoods and using citizens for target practice. Now, I say that because of the story that I did about those three Miami police officers that were fired for making statements about going into black neighborhoods and using the citizens for target practice, specifically because there wouldn't be any cost for doing so. Now, they claim it was a joke. I don't think so. And I am taking that example and laying it on this latest story regarding Chicago police investigating two officer-involved shootings mere days into the new year. Now, last year, I believe there were something like 754 killings of people in Chicago. And you don't hear anything about people being brought to justice regarding these killings. Who better than the police to perpetrate these murders and then have the ability to cover them up and never find any of the actual assailants? The reason being, the assailants are actually them. All right, let me read the story that I just came across. Chicago police investigating two officer-involved shootings mere days into the new year. The Chicago Police Department is opening the new year with two investigations prompted by separate officer-involved shootings Sunday and Monday. It's mere days into the new year, and already authorities are investigating two separate shootings of unarmed men by Chicago police officers, the Chicago Tribune reports. According to the report, just about 2 hours after midnight on January the 1st, an officer shot a man after a car chase on the far south side. The suspect apparently crashed his vehicle into a police car and was shot after some sort of physical altercation with officers in the street, according to the police. Yeah, I want to see the dash cams and the body cams on that one. That individual is currently hospitalized and is said to be in serious condition, according to the Tribune. Hopefully he survives. The next morning, Monday, on the northwest side, an off-duty officer fatally shot an unarmed man with whom, according to Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson, the officer had had a prior confrontation. The Chicago Police Department declined to identify the officer behind the shooting, saying only that he was 57 years old and assigned to transit detail. Police say that the officer shot the unarmed man several times and he was pronounced dead at a medical center at 9:51 a.m. I have a lot more questions than I have answers at this time, Johnson said. I came out because I wanted to make sure the investigation was done properly. Yeah, okay. Both shootings are currently under investigation. According to the Tribune, family identified the victim of Monday's fatal shooting as 39-year-old Jose Nieves, a construction worker who had a second job as a security guard for a nightclub. Yeah, this was some big criminal, okay? So apparently the police officer had a beef with this guy and decided that he was going to settle the beef by taking this guy out. This was not a gangbanger that this guy killed. According to the family, Mr. Nieves didn't like drama and added that Nieves was walking his dogs when he was shot. This makes no sense at all. Police spokesman Anthony Gigli, I'm going to have a problem pronouncing that last name, Guglielmi said the investigators were checking the area, including a high school across the street, for surveillance footage of the incident and possible witnesses. The spokesman said that it was not yet clear what led to the confrontation between the two men. We know that these two had some type of history with each other. We're trying to dig into that deeper, the spokesperson said. We know there was some type of encounter between them before, and it's unclear if this was the type of encounter that required police assistance. That is also something we are looking into, but these two individuals, at minimum, were prior acquaintances and had some type of history, not necessarily a friendly history. The incident is being looked into by both the Chicago Police Department and the Independent Police Review Authority. Okay, this reminds me of the guy that got shot in St. Louis by a guy that he had a beef with in high school, and it was a black guy that got shot, and it was a black quote-unquote police officer that shot him. Police, in my opinion, and again, I don't have anything to back it up, but I really believe that it is the police that are perpetrating a lot of these shootings and killings in the city of Chicago. Because if they aren't, then why haven't they been able to clear up a lot of the cases? Their case resolution is abysmal, absolutely abysmal, and they're always claiming lack of cooperation from the community. But if they're doing these shootings, then the community really wouldn't have any input other than to possibly give a description of a car and individuals. And if they do it the way that they normally do it, covered up, you don't know who did what. So I think that something has to be done. Some type of investigation needs to be done in order to see exactly what's going on. I don't know if they need to make sure that they're tagging all these police cars and the police officers themselves. I don't know how they can tag them, especially if they're off duty and in unmarked cars perpetrating this. But again, I think it's the Chicago police that are doing a lot of this crap.